Stack bar charts and column charts can be very messy. They can have too much information at the same time and they become quickly overwhelming, like this chart here. There are different solutions depending on our goals. In this video, I want to show you one solution where we can expand the stacks and see different informations in different views. First of all, remove the visual background and add the image to the canvas background. Remove the borders. Remove the grid lines. Change the colors of data labels and axes. These colors are very bright and saturated. They are kind of competing with each other. I want to use some less saturated colors instead. I use a toned down color palette like this. I think they work quite well on this dark background. Remove the y-axis and remove the data labels as well. Make the spacing smaller. Make the whole chart a little bit smaller. Now we can see the totals and also the trend over time. And we also see the context, like what subcomponents are in these totals. But we cannot really say anything about these subcomponents. We can see the trend of the one on the baseline, but other than that, it doesn't really tell us anything. So we want to find a solution where we can see the trend also for individual subcomponents. I'll remove the legend. Put it into a text box, color them, and right align it. I remove the title now and put it in a text box as well. I'm gonna move the labels below the bars. I copy the column chart, remove the product from legend. Then I go to formatting, add data labels, position is inside base. Then go to columns and change the color with conditional formatting to a transparent color. Select field value and select the transparent color measure. Align the column chart properly. Go to the other column chart, go to the x-axis and change the color to transparent as well. Field value, measure transparent color. One thing to keep in mind is if the columns are too small, the values might not render. They are transparent, but they are still there. So maybe you have to use a matrix instead of using this methodology. And then also remove the total labels. Then change the layer order, go to selection, and move the top bar chart to the bottom. So with the labels, we have it in the bottom. So we can go and still see the values on Tooltip. And also at the text box, which says what values these are, total sales. This is going to be our basic view. Let's say we want to see the individual components at the same time and be able to compare the month over a trend. We can do it with small multiples. We are going to group these, but don't select all the elements. Select the text boxes, 2 text boxes, and the top chart. Press Ctrl G, it groups it, stacked chart. For the small multiples, I'm going to copy the top chart and then hide the stacked chart group. Move the copy above the other chart and then go to the visualizations pane and drag the product from the legend to the small multiples. Make it a bit larger. Go to formatting, small multiples, 6 rows, 1 column, and add 0 padding. We need all the space we can have for the columns. They are already pretty small. Then remove the borders, select none, go to title, change the color, and we will also change the column colors. There is already a measure called small multiple colors, which changes the colors based on the product. Let's get back to the formatting. Click conditional formatting, select field value, and select small multiple colors. Click OK. We can adjust the size a little bit so they are aligned with the other bar chart. And I would have the titles, the product names, also the same way we have it in the other chart, like having it on the side so we can have more space for the small multiples, and we can also color them. We are going to do this also with text boxes. Hide the stacked columns again and create the colored text boxes. I created 6 text boxes, and pay attention to the order. This is the order we had in the original column chart. So we have to change the order of the small multiples. But first, let's remove the title, select the chart, go to formatting, small multiples, remove title. As you see, the columns got a bit larger. Then go to more options, sort small multiples by product. Go to options again, sort small multiples and descending. Then keep the selection on the bar chart and also select the 6 text boxes. I already have them in a group. And then group these 2 again, Ctrl G, and this is going to be the unstacked chart. And what we are missing is the total sales label. I put it accidentally into the other group, so we can just go and pull it out of the group. So it's independent from the groups. So now we have the totals and the trend over time, and we also have the trend for the subcomponents. I want to be able to switch between these 2 views. We will use buttons and bookmarks for that. I will insert a blank button. Let's format it. First, round the corners, go to shape, add 10 pixel rounding, then go to style, add the text, stack view. The color is fine. Go to icon, disable it, go to borders, make it 1 pixel wide. The color is fine again. Then go up and change the state to on hover. Go to font color, change it to this gray, and do the same with the border. Make the button a bit smaller, something like this. Then copy the button and change the text to Unstacked View. We can take the buttons and put them into the groups. So this is the stacked view. It will be shown when the unstacked chart is up. So pull it into the unstacked chart. And the other button will be shown when the stacked chart is active. So this is stacked view. We will also create 2 bookmarks. Go to view, turn on bookmarks pane. I already created them, so you just have to update them. Click on unstack, then stack chart. This is when the unstacked chart is open. So this is going to be the unstacked view. Right click on unstacked view and update. Then change the views. Unstacked chart is hidden, stack chart is visible. Select them again and go to stack view bookmark and update it. Okay, you can see they are working now. What we can do is to put the 2 buttons above each other so they cover each other. Turn on both charts. Select the stack view chart, then select the other button as well, the unstacked view. And if you go to properties, it shows the position of the element you selected first. So this is the stacked view. If you go to horizontal and change it 1 up, 1 down, it's the same. And if you go to vertical, you change it to 1 up and then go back to 205. And they are stacked above each other. Then you can hide one of the groups. Then go to the button and add an action to it. This is the stacked view. So I add the bookmark and this is going to be the stack view. When I click on it, it shows the other view. Then I select the other button, activate action, select bookmark and unstack view. One thing which is missing is the values of the columns. If you put them directly in the visual, it becomes pretty overcrowded. So we can use a tooltip instead. We can create a new page. Page information, allow use as a tooltip. Go to canvas settings. We can change the color so it fits the theme of the visual. I want to sample this color in the background. I use a Microsoft tool called Color Picker, which is a power toy. You can download it for free and you can sample any color visible on the screen with a shortcut. I think it's very cool. I use it a lot, and now you can just copy the hex code from me and put it back into the tooltip. Canvas background, color, more colors. Insert it and 0 transparency. I will also resize the page because we will need more space. Type tooltip, change it to custom. The size is gonna be 220 by 550. Can zoom in a bit. I go back to the original chart, select these small multiples and copy it back to the tooltip. Make it smaller, move the product from small multiples into the legend, resize it a bit. And I want to do the same concept like in the stack column chart, that we have the sales values right below the columns. So let's copy this chart. Remove the product from the legend, go to formatting, columns, and change the field value to transparent color. If it doesn't work, like for me, there is this error, repeated indices found in group by or projections. Honestly, I didn't find the reason for that, not even on Google. So what you can do is just delete this. Go back to the original chart and copy this transparent chart from here. Go back, paste it, and you can resize it accordingly as you need. Somehow the measure with the small multiple colors messes it up. Sometimes it worked for me, but sometimes it just didn't work. So I don't know what's up with that. So let's see how it looks like. I go back to the original chart, zoom out and go to the small multiples and add the tooltip. Select the chart, go to formatting, general, tooltips, report page. And this is gonna be page 1. And as you can see, it shows the product, but what we want to see is all the month, not only August or not only any month which we select. So we have to go back to the tooltip, and here in the visualization pane, remove keep all filters. So it will not be filtered by any element on the start page. If you go back, you see everything is visible. This is good. We see the month, but we want to filter the products. So we go back to the tooltip and drag the products here to the tooltip filters. Financials, product. Okay. And now it looks like this. This is how we want it. But then as you see, there is another issue, is that not all the sales values are visible. The reason for that is that the columns are too small. So this is not going to work for us, unfortunately. I'm going to remove the data labels, but we will still keep this chart because we have the month here, and then we can put a matrix here to show the sales values. I'm just gonna copy this transparent chart and I'm gonna turn it into a matrix. Move the month from the rows to the columns. Go to formatting, remove the style, go to values, make it visible. Then go to specific column and keep the sales values on and display units in millions and 1 decimal value. Then remove the totals. We will also make the text smaller, like 9 pixel. Go to the grid. Temporarily we add the vertical grid lines, so we can align it, make it smaller and just align it according to the column charts. Now we have it, we can remove the grid lines and also remove the borders. None of them is selected, but you can still see that there are some borders. You can just activate one of them and then deactivate it, then the borders are deactivated. As you can see, the numbers are still too large. We can change the font to thin. And now it renders better. I would also align it into the middle. Go back to specific columns, align it in the middle. And then open the selection pane and bring it down to the bottom. Adjust it a little bit. Adjust this one also a little bit. And let's check how it looks like. Now, as you can see, the numbers are rendering well, but you see the months from the matrix. So let's go back to the matrix. Select it. Go to formatting. Go to column headers, and the text color should match the background color. I'm gonna sample it again. Go to text color. Maybe you have it in recent colors. I had to restart my Power BI, so I lost all my recent colors. And let's check it now. Yeah, perfect. This is exactly how we want it to look like. We can also add a title to it. I'm gonna add the multi-row card, make it smaller. And just put product on the field. Remove the accent bar, change the color to the small multiple colors. It didn't change seemingly, but it will render well. So change the font to Segway. Change the size, move it a little bit like this, and remove the background. And we can also make the columns a bit smaller, so it doesn't cover the title. Let's go back and check it. Yeah, there you have it. Go back to the stack view. And I think a tooltip would work here as well, showing for every month on Hover the distribution of the different products. I'm gonna rename this and then duplicate it. This is gonna be tooltip stacked. I select the stack column chart and turn it into a clustered bar chart. Remove the month from the y-axis. Drag the product from the legend to the y-axis. Make it a bit smaller. Then select the other column chart with the transparent colors. You can delete it. Then select the matrix, turn it into a table. Remove month short. Drag the product in front of the sales. Make it larger. We can go to formatting. Go to grid. Remove horizontal grid lines. Go to options. Add 5 pixels to the row padding. Then scroll down to values, change the font to Segway UI. The color is fine. Then go to totals, change the color to gray. Then go down to specific columns, serious sales, and activate apply to total as well, and right align them. Then select serious product, apply to total, and also right align. Then we can go to cell elements. Product is selected, change the font color, select field value, financials, small multiple colors. We can make the whole thing a bit larger. We can move the sales values closer to the product names. We have here the column headers, and they are too large seemingly. I'm gonna change them to something else. Yeah, looks better. Same for product. Okay, that didn't change anything. Still okay. And seemingly the row padding is too much. So let's go back to options and change it a little bit. Then drag the bar chart and adjust it. In fact, we can make the padding a little bit smaller. Like this. And it kind of gives a feeling that the bars belong to each other, to a whole. And finally, we will change the title. I will delete this. Add the card. and pull in month name to the fields. Go to formatting, disable category label, change callout value to 20. Change the color to gray. Go to general, remove the background and resize it. We are going to resize the whole canvas, going to canvas settings, and the width is going to be 350. We will make the bar chart smaller. Put the card in the middle. And now, instead of product, we want it to be filtered by the month. So let's put month short here. And one more thing to change is the sorting. We want to sort it the same way it's sorted in the stack bar chart. So starting with Amarilla and ending with VTT. The bars are sorted properly, but we have to sort the table. Select the table, go to more options, sort by, and sort by product. And this should be sorted descending. That's fine. How does it look now? Okay, we have to change the tooltip. Go to formatting, general, and change the tooltip to the new tooltip stacked. So if you look at the chart, you can see the totals. They are nicely aligned. You can compare them quickly. And if you go into the individual month, you can compare also the components for each month. And if you want to see the individual products over the year, just click on Unstacked View and you can see the trends of each of them. And if you want to see the values, you still see the totals, but you don't see the direct values of the products. If you want to see it, you just hover the mouse and see the column chart enlarged with the sales values.